everybody, and welcome into today's episode of the Top Cut Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast. My name is Sunny, and I'm here remotely with Caleb. What's up, dude?
Hello.
Well, thank you all so much for waiting it out with us. We know that we've taken a little bit of a break. We took an episode off, a couple of episodes, really, if you include the Patreon episode. We had some difficulties. Caleb has come down with COVID, but I'll let you say it. How you feeling, bud?
I'm doing much better at this point. As you can probably hear, coughing at this point is just come down to like a bad cough at worst.
Right.
So, still kind of getting over it, but I'll be fine. I should be fine the next couple of days.
I got you. Well, of course, I'm very, very happy to have you back here with me. We're still not taking any chances. We want to be really precautious. So obviously, like I said, we're recording this one remote. Hopefully we'll be back in the studio together either on the next episode or maybe the one after. But for now, I'll tell you what, it feels good to get back in the saddle, buddy. Wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah. No, I've been chomping at the bit because we got so many really cool cards to talk about.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited. We have so much stuff to talk about. But before we do, we want to, of course, go through, thank all of our patrons and everything like that. So a huge thank you to Austin Johnson, Kane Martin, Master of Isa, Mr. Herbie, Scuzz Daddy, Witchcrafter Main 2022, AD, Aaron Gardner, Anthony Leela, Damian Zink, Dank Nugs, Dino DNA, Mountain Man, Myth Oceanus, Owen Alvarado, Pig, Jeremy Drysdale, Ray Powell, and Sunny Sweet. Thank you all so much for your continued support of the podcast. And of course, we want to thank everybody that has joined the Discord server, as well as all those that have followed us on Twitter, all the ones that have, gone ahead and followed us on Spotify and subscribed on Apple iTunes. And listen, if you haven't already, there's nothing stopping you. It's free. Just go ahead and click that little follow or that subscribe button. It takes 10 seconds. Really easy. And there's nothing else to say. It's just easy. It's free. It's right there. Just go ahead, click that little button. Just click it. There's nothing to it. And of course, we do want to urge you and ask you, if you are listening on Apple Podcasts, please be sure to give us a rating and a review, 5 stars if you like the show. And of course, we do read out those reviews live on the podcast. So for those that want to hear their kind words read out on the podcast, all you got to do is leave a rating or review. We check it fairly regularly. So, and I think that's about it. So thank you all again so much for your continued support. And I think that we can go ahead and get on into the show. So,
oh yeah,
we do have a little bit of quick play news. We do have the YCS Las Vegas, which was supposed to take place at the end of February, has been canceled. So if you were going to that, or if you were thinking about going to that, don't worry. At least you got a month notice. We got 3 days or 4 days. So
something like that.
Yeah, we got no notice for Pasadena. So, but as much as I hate to say this, it is probably for the best, right?
Definitely.
With the way things are spiking right now, with the way Omicron is just really attacking the entire world, it sucks. I want remote play back. I want live in-person play back just as much as anybody else. I promise I do. But this is a really difficult time right now in the world. So.
Oh yeah, no. Trust me, it's not fun.
Yeah. I've had it before. It's not a fun thing. And I just, I really don't want anybody to just take unnecessary risks for the sake of playing. At the end of the day, what is a game? So. Be safe out there, everybody. Be sure to not go do anything crazy. Don't put yourself in unnecessary risks. And of course, if you haven't already, just go ahead, go get vaccinated, and I mean, do your part, because we're all just trying to make this go away so we can get back to those live in-person events. So, with all of that out of the way, we do have the results of YCS. The remote duel YCS. It was supposed to be YCS Pasadena, but the remote duel YCS. We do have all the results. We have the winner, which was Lyrilush Tri Brigade. Second place was Sword Soul Tenyi, with another one getting 4th place, and a third place was B Trooper. So,
ooh, interesting.
Yeah, it's a really interesting breakdown. We have the breakdown of top 32, and we have deck lists, things of that sort. So, for those that want all of that information, be sure to tune back in on Friday's episode, because ban list or not, we're going to cover all of the meta impacts of the YCS and what we can look forward to with the remote duel YCS that's happening this coming weekend also, because with YCS Utrecht being canceled, we do have the remote duel YCS coming then, as well as the top 16, I do believe, of the last North American YCS will also be this weekend. So we have a lot of meta coverage and meta analysis coming in Friday's episode, so be sure to tune in for that. But today, we're going to kind of just try to get back into the rhythm of things, and we're going to cover all of these new cards that we need to talk about.
Oh yeah, it's like 20-something of them.
There's a bunch. And the last thing I'm going to say is, just so I don't have to do it at the end of the episode, because I will forget. So, the last podcast question of the day, which is, what is the funniest Yu-Gi-Oh thing that has happened to you? We got 0 responses on. We got none. Not a single response. And it may or may not be because with everything that was going on, I forgot to post it to both Twitter and Discord. Forgot to put it out there. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and put that one out for this one also. Give everybody another chance to respond, because, oh boy, that's on me. So,
hey man,
but that's
accidents
it.
happen.
You know? Yeah. Well, there's been a lot going on. So.
Oh yeah.
So let's go ahead and get on into today's episode and today's cards. And the first card that we have to read off the new card is Ice Jade Curse. So this is a support card for the Ice Jade archetype, which was introduced in the one that introduced Sword Soul. What set was that? Burst of Destiny.
That. Like, I was thinking, like, it's Bode, but I can't remember what the words were.
Yeah. Burst of Destiny. So, Ice Jades were introduced in Burst of Destiny. You might know it by the cheapest secret rare in the set being Ice Jade Tremora, which is one of their main monsters. It's a cool deck, but it didn't really have any, like, main huge power cards until now.
I really wouldn't even consider this a power card. Well, it is a power card. Never mind.
No, this card's insane. So,
yeah.
This is Ice Jade Curse. It is a continuous spell card. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. 1. While there are an Ice Jade monster and Ice Jade Depths Eon Cradle on the field, your opponent cannot activate the effects of monsters they control the turn they were summoned.
Oh boy. Whoa. Oh boy, another floodgate.
Oh man, this is gonna be good.
Bad
2.
archetype?
When a monster, go ahead.
I'm about to say, bad archetype. Just slap on a floodgate into it.
A searchable floodgate.
Searchable floodgate.
When a monster is destroyed by battle involving your Ice Jade monster, you can target one of those destroyed monsters and inflict damage to your opponent equal to its original attack. Man, yeah, not being able to activate effects is pretty good.
Yep. I mean, that's kind of what Skill Drain does.
More or less.
Yeah. To be fair, there's a lot more limitations, and it only affects monsters the turn that they're summoned. But usually that's all you need. Because, ignition effects. And it also doesn't affect, like Zeus or anything like that. Because quick effect.
Yeah.
But still. Anyway,
well,
next...
I mean, the turn Zeus is summoned, he can't activate his effect.
Yeah, but then you just pass turn.
Yeah, and then hit it. Yeah.
Most people who make Zeus don't Zeus until their opponent's turn. Most of the time. I'm not saying it never happens where you make a Zeus and you immediately Zeus. I'm just saying. Let's see.
Yeah.
Moving on. Next card. Branded Forfeiture. I love the description. Run away and live to fight another day. Normal
Yeah.
spell card. Target a fusion monster you control and one monster special summon from the extra deck your opponent controls. Return them to the deck. During the end phase of this turn, each player can special summon a fusion monster from their extra deck that lists Fallen of Albaz as material. That's kind of hilarious.
You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn, so it's
Yes.
not. It is a hard once per turn, but it's like a. If you negate the activation, you can activate another kind of deal.
Yeah. It's not you can only use, you only activate. It's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
important. But like the funniest part about this to me though is like your opponent's playing a non-Albaz deck, and you're like, I can activate this comfortably because they're not going to have anything in their extra deck, and they bring something out, and it's like, huh?
Wait a minute. I mean, yeah. This card being out, this card might not get run. I mean, it's a good card, but it literally might not get run simply because if it sees regular use,
People are going to start decking in like just random Albaz, like they'll find like the best quote unquote singular Albaz fusion and run it.
yeah, just to have a free summon off of this.
Oh, definitely.
So next we have Chang-Chi the Taoist. It is a level 6 dark zombie effect monster, 2000 attack, 0 defense. This is a V-Jump promo, so this will be a jump promotional card. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. 1. During your main phase, you can send one zombie monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard. That's pretty good. 2. If this card becomes banished, you can add one zombie monster from your deck to your... You can banish one zombie monster from your graveyard, I'm sorry. Special summon this card, but place it on the bottom of the deck when it leaves the field. That seems pretty good.
Oh yes, Skull Conductor approved.
Yeah. So this card's gonna be like really, really good. In a lot of different zombie decks. I mean, it's a free foolish.
I mean,
That's good.
I mean, not only is it a free foolish, it's also just a free monster on board.
Yeah, I mean it's level 6 and it doesn't have like a way to. I mean, I guess you could like gold Sark and then just summon it.
Oh yeah. That's another option. But I'm pretty sure like pure zombies also do a lot of banishing their own stuff. I'm not 100% sure yet.
I'm really not. I really don't know, but I guess we'll see how it meshes with all of the other newer support cards that they've gotten.
Oh, definitely. It's definitely wait and see.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Next up, we got 3 legacy cards.
Oh boy.
Let's see. To start with, we have Red Eye's Soul. Some Red Eye support. Level 7 Dark Dragon, 900 attack, 2000 defense. Meh. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. Also, you can only use its third effect once per duel.
Boy.
1. This card's name becomes Red Eye Black Dragon while it's on field or in the graveyard. Okay. If your opponent special summons a monster, you can send this card from your hand or field to the grave. Hand trap. Special summon a Red Eyes monster from your hand or deck, except Red Eye Soul. Meh.
It's like Magician Souls, but for the Red Eyes archetype.
Yeah. 3. Quick effect. You can target a Red Eyes Black Dragon in your monster zone. Inflict damage to your opponent equal to its original attack.
It doesn't need that effect. Even if it is once per duel. That's
Hold on.
unnecessary.
I just saw something hilarious. If you Red Eyes Fusion into Red Eyes Dragoon with this thing on board...
its name is treated as Red Eyes Black Dragon.
So you get a negate off, then activate this thing, its quick effect, to just burn your opponent for 4k for free. I think that's why...
Original attack.
Oh, original, yeah. It's still 3k.
Yeah, it's still a lot of damage.
Like, I think if you wanted to deal maximum damage with this, you'd have to use, like, Meteor Black Dragon being fused off of, Red Eyes Fusion.
Right, yeah, because then its name would be treated as a... That would be a funny thing to do. Could you imagine activating Red Eyes Fusion, and your opponent going, oh lord, here we go, and then you send Red Eyes and
Meteor Dragon.
And Meteor Dragon, and summoning that, and they're like, wait, what?
Yep. Then you drop this thing on board, pass, or like attack, and then quick effect, burn them for 3,500.
Who needs Dragoon
Dragoon.
when I've got Meteor Black Dragon?
They'd probably actually use its retrain, who I don't remember what its name is, but it's literally Red Eyes White Dragon plus any level 6 dragon.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it's much easier to make. And then Meteor Black Dragon. No, not Meteor Black Dragon. There's like a Red Eyes Meteor Dragon or something. I don't remember. It's a retrained Meteor Dragon that actually gets an effect off. Like, it's actually really good for that exact situation. And I only know this because on the Switch Yu-Gi-Oh game, I forgot the name of it, I actually built a Red Eyes deck that just absolutely, abused that.
Link Evolution?
Link Evolution, that's it.
Yeah. Alright, next card is Bridge of Salvation. This is a normal trap card. You can only apply the first and second effects of this card's name each once per duel. Wow. If there are 2 or more different types among level 10 or higher monsters on the field, shuffle all cards in both players' hands, fields, and graveyards into the deck, except this card, then each player draws 5 cards. What? 2. You can banish this card from your graveyard, add 1 Crystal Beast monster and 1 field spell card from your deck to your hand. What?
That's so dumb.
It's Fiber Jar, but in Crystal Beast support. What is this? What is this?
Oh, yeah. Hold on, not only that, it's also like an actually pretty decent Foolish Burial Goods target. Just send to the graveyard, activate effect to banish it to get terraforming plus a free search.
Yeah. Yeah.
You essentially turn
wow.
You essentially turn Foolish Burial of Goods into a free +1 with this card. That's ridiculous.
Wow, that's really dumb.
To be fair, it's in Crystal Beasts.
Still, that deck has legs, especially with the new one coming in. Goes from the past too, right? The Rainbow. What's it called?
I don't remember. It's like Ultimate Crystal.
Crystal Zenith.
Zenith, that's it.
Yeah.
Anyway, next card, Return of the Reaper, normal spell. This card is always treated as an Infernity card, so it's an Infernity card that is searchable with all the Infernity support.
Right, because it's always treated as an Infernity card. That means also in the deck.
Correct. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. Special summon one of your Infernity monsters that is banished in your hand or graveyard. That's dumb. 2. If a face-up Infernity monster you control is destroyed by battle or leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, while this card is in your graveyard, set it to your field. That's kind of meh. However, you can... I looked this up. You can, like, special summon Infernity Necromancer, effect to special summon the Archfiend, search for this, link 2 into something, activate this card to bring back the Infernity Necromancer, activate Necromancer, bring back out Archfiend, bam, free access code.
Oh.
Or you can just do make a Phoenix, make a Nightmare Phoenix, pop a card, boom, 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 and then link 3 in a Unicorn, bounce a card, and then into a free access code with literally just Infernity Archfiend engraved, Necromancer, and then special summon Necromancer.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the Infernity archetype, so I don't know how any of the cards work. So I just assume that this card is good for them.
Okay, so you know how Madoltri just kind of keep doing the same effects over and over again because the vast majority of their effects are once per turn, or soft once per turn?
Yeah.
Because they're old?
Yeah.
Same thing with Infernity, particularly between Necromancer and Archfiend. Necromancer's effect is that while you have no cards in hand, once per turn, select an Infernity monster in your graveyard, except Necromancer special summon it. Archfiend, on special summon, add an Infernity card from deck to your hand. Both of those are soft once per turn, so you just kind of loop them over and over again to get like near infinite
advantage.
You're only limited by re-special summoning out a new Infernity Necromancer. Or a new instance of the Necromancer. Return of the Reaper just gives them another way to just get the Necromancer back on board again.
Right.
It's
a cool card.
Oh yeah. I also just like the theme of it being. I also just like how it's themed after the actual duelist in the anime. He uses it.
Yeah, like walking through like a western town.
Yeah, because the Infernities are a Wild West themed archetype.
I think they're themed after like some kind of like Native American lore or something too, huh?
I think that's part of it too. I don't fully remember. This is me coming off of when the show was actually still airing, like back when 5Ds
Yeah.
was still airing. So
Yeah. Well, the next card we have is called Dogmatic. Yeah, Dogmaticurgy.
Dogmatic Dogmaticaturgy. There we go.
Yeah, Dogmaticaturgy.
It's a play on Dogmatica and Thaumaturgy.
Yeah. This is
this
a
case,
normal
Dramaturgy.
trap card. You can only use the one of the first and second effects of this card's name each once per turn, and only once that turn. 1. Ritual summon 1 Dogmatica ritual monster from your hand or deck by tributing Dogmatica monsters and or ritual fusion or synchro monsters from your field whose total levels exactly equal the level of the ritual monster you ritual summon. 2. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 2 Dogmatica monsters with different levels in your graveyard, add one of them to your hand, and place the other on the bottom of your deck. So this is another one where if you're running Foolish Barrel Goods, you can just, boom, hit it.
Yeah, exactly. I also like how it essentially turns, like when its normal activation effect turns a ritual summon into essentially a synchro summon, which is neat.
Yeah, but it's crazy that it does the ritual summon from deck. That's kind of wild.
Oh yeah, no, from hand or deck. The only limitation is that you can only tribute Dogmatica monsters and Dogmatic monsters, any ritual, any fusion, any synchro.
Yeah, but the levels have to be exact.
Yes, you're essentially at that point conducting a synchro summon without a tuner.
I guess that's one way to put it.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things where they're kind of like taking how one mechanic works and using it as a setup for a different mechanic.
Right.
So it's neat.
Well, let's go ahead and take just a moment before we read off the next set of cards to thank our sponsor, ETB Games in Alexandria, Louisiana. So, of course, we are sponsored by our locals, ETB Games. ETB is your one-stop shop to go ahead and get everything you need for all of your trading card game needs. That, of course, includes Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Cardfight Vanguard, Digimon. You might even be able to find some Dragon Ball Z stuff there, but I know you can find all sleeves, binders, deck boxes, all that kind of stuff that you would need to play the games you love. In addition to that, you can also find everything that you need for all of your tabletop adventures, whether that be D&D, Pathfinder, whatever. So they also boast a cool video game section where you can go in and play video games, hang out with the boys, whatever you want to do. And they do host monthly Battle City tournament days where you can come in, play Yu-Gi-Oh! If we get the people for it, we also do pod tournaments where we play Edison and Goat and whatever on the side. So come on in, check it out. And if you want to find out more, you can find a link in the description down below.
Guess what?
They
have miniatures! Miniatures!
What?
I was just saying miniatures in a silly voice because I thought it'd be funny.
Oh, I couldn't understand what you said. I was like,
miniatures.
Okay, now that you say that, I know what you're talking about. But I'm not gonna lie to you, buddy. I was lost.
Yeah, actually,
as per usual.
Yeah, it is what it is. Okay, next card is, let's see, normal.
An entire archetype.
Yes, an entire archetype. Oh boy, and it's our favorite game mechanic too.
No.
So the entire archetype is called the Valiants. We like I said, we're very open about where we get our info from. We're getting this from Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization. The first line of them describing what the cards do is there is so much card text. It's like I had to read a tabletop RPG manual. I do not like where this is going. Here we go. To begin,
This
we
is
have...
why I don't like pendulums.
I know, right? To begin, we have Shinomi, Priestess of the Valiants.
I think that's Shinonomi.
It might be Shinonomi. Level 2 Water Spellcaster, Pendulum, of course. 500 attack and defense, Pendulum scale of 1. Pendulum effect. You can only use the Pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn. 1. During your main phase, you can special summon this card to your main monster zone in this card's column. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except Valiants and monsters from your extra deck.
But that also includes pendulum monsters that are face up in your extra deck.
Correct. Monster effect.
Wait. You can special summon this card to your main monster zone in this card's column. So if you scale it, you can summon it to the zone it's scaled into.
Correct.
Basically.
That is correct. It essentially special summons itself directly from your hand.
Gotcha.
Kind of. If you're too, if your far left and right monster zones are empty. Monster effect. You can only use the first and second monster effect of this card's name each once per turn. If you control the special summon card, you can add a Valiant spell from your deck to your hand. If this card is moved to a monster zone, from a monster zone to another one, you can add a Valiant monster from deck to your hand, except herself. Seize the search.
Yo, that seems really good.
Depends on how the ease of access this deck has to moving their monsters from zone to zone. You know what I mean?
I mean, it doesn't matter. It's really good because it searches the spell for free.
Exactly. So if it's a spell card, you immediately activate the spell card, move it, get a monster search.
You can like scale this one, scale another, do a pendulum summon, and then use this, move it up into the main monster zone, and then get the search.
Yeah, and then like
because it's a pen scale of 1.
Yeah, and then activate something else to get another move, to get another search. It's ridiculous. Next up, do you want me to just keep going down these, or do you want to?
I'll do it. I'll reluctantly do it.
Okay.
Next we have Seon, Archer of the Valiants. Level 4 Water Spellcaster Pendulum Effect Monster. 1100 attack, 1100 defense, Pendulum scale of 1 also. Pendulum Effect. You can only use the Pendulum Effect of this card's name once per turn. During your main phase, you can special summon this card to your main monster zone in this card's column. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn except Valiant monsters and monsters from your extra deck. Okay, so that is the exact same pendulum effect as the Priestess of the Valiants. Okay.
Yep.
Monster effect. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. 1. If you control the special summoned card, you can target one effect monster on the field. Toss a coin, and if it is heads, negate that monster's effect, and if it is tails, its current attack becomes halved. It could have just been negate them effect. I don't like the coin toss thing.
Yeah.
2. It's like Forbidden Droplet, but worse.
Yeah.
If this card is moved from a main monster zone to another, you can target one card on the field, toss a coin, and if it is heads, destroy that card. If it is tails, return it to the hand.
Okay.
Interesting.
That second effect isn't as bad, because either way, you're removing a threat from the field, but the issue is, if you're targeting something that can be destroyed, there's a 50-50 shot, nothing happens.
Right, yeah. So that's... I don't know. It's iffy, but it's a cool board breaker tool regardless.
Oh, absolutely. Just like cause in that case you just target something that can be destroyed or bounced, and it forces a response, which is great. Next up we have Nazuki Ninja.
Can I have this one and you take the next one?
Sure.
I just think the art is cooler. Nazuki, Ninja of the Valiants. Level 6 Water Spellcaster Pendulum Effect Monster. 1800 attack, 1800 defense. Pendulum scale of 1. You can only use the Pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn. 1. If Valiant's Vorld Shinra Banshu is in the field zone, if you control a Water Valiant monster, you can special summon this card to your main monster zone in this card's column. Okay, so
far they've all been water though.
Yeah. It seems to be the thing. Yeah, I'm just glancing through. Oh, okay. Well, not all of them are cool.
Oh.
Monster effect. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. 1. You can target one other monster in your main monster zone. Move it to its adjacent monster zone. Okay, well there you go. 2. If this card is moved from a monster zone to another, you can target one Valiant monster card in your spell and trap card zone. Special summon it to your main monster zone in its column. Oh.
Okay.
Well, that's interesting because that's a way to special summon the Archer and the Priestess without using their effects, so
Yeah.
therefore you won't lock yourself.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Well, I mean, you have to special summon him to get him out because he's level 6. So even to get that effect.
He doesn't lock you though.
Oh, that's true. But that is true. But he also does require you control a Water Valiance monster or the field spell
He is a Water Valiance monster.
to special summon himself, though. I mean, out of the Pendulum Zone.
He is a Water Valiance monster.
Yeah, but if he's
Oh no, he counts as a spell, I guess.
yeah. At that point, he's a spell. When he's in Pendulum Zone, he's a spell. He's still a Pendulum
gross.
monster. But unless something specifically is looking for a Water Pendulum monster in your Pendulum Zone.
Oh, okay. I see.
I imagine that's the way that works.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Hojo, Warrior of the Valiants.
The artwork on this guy just looked way more you.
Fair enough. Level 8 Water, 1900 attack and defense. They all have a Pendulum scale of 1 so far.
So far, just wait till we get to the next set.
Yeah. Pendulum effect. You can only use the Pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn if Valiance of World Shinra Bansho is in a field zone, or if you control a Water Valiance monster, special on this card to your main monster zone in this card's column. Same thing as the previous one. Monster effect. You can only use the first, second effect, monster effect of this card's name used once per turn. 1. Target a face-up card in the spell and trap card zone, return it to the hand. That could be really good. It could also be bad. We'll have to wait and see. If this card is moved from a monster zone to another, fusion summon a Valiance fusion monster from your extra deck, using monsters from hand or field as material, as well as cards in your Pendulum Zone.
Oh, that's weird.
That is funky. Oh, what is... Okay, hold on. We went from, like, a Chinese-style shrine... A Japanese-style shrine maiden. We have, like, the samurai archer. A ninja.
Really, the background is them with, like, the Chinese-style, like, arches and the cherry blossoms in the background. To just machines.
Oh, and then, the last one, the Hojo, is like a Japanese warlord wielding a massive flaming glaive. It's a water monster, by the way. To mechs.
Yeah, literally mech suits. Wow.
In a virtual world. Oh.
Huh?
In a virtual world. Oh, boy.
Yeah. Next card is Valiance Buster Baron. Level 2 Fire Machine Pendulum Effect Monster. 800 attack, 800 defense, pendulum scale of 1. Pendulum effect. You can only use the pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn. 1. During your main phase, you can special summon this card to your main monster zone in this card's column. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn except Valiance monsters and monsters from the extra deck. So the same as the Archer and the...
Priestess.
Monster effect. You can only use the first and second monster effects of this card's name each once per turn. Okay, if you control the special one card, you can target one other Valiance monster in your main monster zone, move that target to its adjacent zone. Okay, so it's another mover.
Yeah.
If this card is moved from a monster zone to another, you can target one card in the Pendulum Zone, place it face up in the adjacent spell trap zone as a continuous spell. Whoa!
What?
So you can move your monsters out of the Pendulum Zones.
Yeah, to the zones right next to the zones that are like to the right and the left of them.
Wow, that's interesting.
Meaning, theoretically, you have a monster in every single one of your zones, except exactly your according to this so far, except the very center of your spell and trap zone.
Give it enough time, you could get there.
Yeah. Just equip one of them Vector Hornet. Problem solved.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay, next one is you.
Yep, Valiance Voltage Viscount. Level 4 Fire Machine. 1400 attack and defense, pendulum scale of 1. Still with the pendulum scale of 1. Good luck pendulum summoning anything with this. You can only use the pendulum effect once per turn. During your main phase, special summon this card to your main monster zone in this card's column. Exact same thing. Then you're locked into Valiance and extra deck monsters. Monster effect. You can only use the first and second effect once per turn. If you control this special summon card, place a face-up Valiant Pendulum monster from your extra deck face up in your spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. There we go. Because then you can just place them anywhere. So that lets you put them in the middle.
Yeah.
If this card is moved from a monster zone to another, place a face-up Valiance Pendulum monster from your extra deck in your Pendulum Zone. Okay, so So if it's specialed, get one on your back row, anywhere, and then if it's moved, you get one in your pendulum zone. Okay, Baron, Viscount, next one.
Valiant's Mad Marquise.
Okay, I see what they're doing. Okay.
I don't...
Baron...
I mean, I guess it's each of them in a mech suit, huh?
It's gotta... Well, no, because none of them... Well, I don't know. I do not know what the connection is between these ancient Japanese warriors and the dudes in the mech suits.
It's like it's two different video games.
That might be it. We'll have to keep reading.
I think when you get a little bit further into the field spells, it kind of makes a little bit more sense. Anyway,
yeah.
Valiant Mad Marquise, level 6 fire machine pendulum effect monster, 1700 attack, 1700 defense, pendulum scale of 1 again. Pendulum effect, you can only use this pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn. If Valiant's World Koenig Weissen is in the field zone, or you control a fire Valiant's monster, you can special summon this card to your main monster zone in its column. Monster effect. You can only use this card's name first and second effect once per turn. During your main phase, you can roll a 6-sided die and excavate cards from the top of your deck equal to the result. And if you do, you can add one excavated Valiance card from your deck to your hand. Also, shuffle any remaining back into the deck. That's interesting.
Not gonna lie. They lost me in the first half, but I came back for the second.
Right. You had me in the first half. Not gonna lie. 2. If this card is moved from a monster zone, not from a main, just from a monster zone to another, you can roll a 6-sided die once. If the result is 2, 3, 4, or 5, special summon one monster card from your spawn trap zone to a main monster zone in its column.
Interesting.
Okay.
So as long as you literally don't roll a 1 or a 6.
Yeah.
Which is still a 1 in 3 chance that nothing happens.
Right.
Better than 50-50. Next up, Valiant Dominator Duke. Level 8 fire, 2000, pendulum skill of 1 still. How are you supposed to pendulum summon? Everything's pendulum skill is 1. Whatever.
Just keep going. We're getting there.
Okay. You can only use this effect once per turn. If Valiant's World Koenig Weissen is in a field zone, or you control a firearms variant, special summon this card to your main monster zone. You can only use first effect once per turn. 1. You can target a set card in the spell and trap card zone. It cannot be activated this turn. That's not the worst thing that it could have. 2. If this card is moved from a monster zone to another, target a face-up monster your opponent's main monster zones. Take control of it, and if you do, treat it as a Valiant monster, and it cannot declare attack or activate its effects. That's not...
I mean, it's treated as a Valiant's monster.
It's kind of iffy, though. But, I mean, the fact that it's treated as a Valiant's monster still means that whatever extra deck ridiculousness that's going on with the extra deck might be able to take full-on advantage of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, here's the first extra deck monster. Valiant's Assemble Momonaka. Level 10 Water Spellcaster Fusion Pendulum Effect Monster. So this is where the fusion summoning comes into play.
Yeah.
2800 attack, 2800 defense, pendulum scale of 10. So there we go. Pendulum effect. You can only use the pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn. During your main phase, you can activate one of these effects. Special summon this card to your main monster zone in its column. Move one monster in your main monster zone to an adjacent main monster zone. Okay, so you can either move a monster or you can special summon this guy from the pendulum zone.
Or use Ninja to special summon it.
Yeah.
So you get the move and the special summon.
Yeah. So the monster effect. The materials for the fusion summon is 3 Valiant monsters, which shouldn't be a problem because there's like 10 of them.
Yeah.
You can only use the first monster effect of this card's name once per turn. 1. During the main phase, quick effect. You can target one effect monster in your opponent's main monster zone. Place that monster in your opponent's spell and trap zone in that monster's column as a face-up continuous card. If a card is already in that zone, destroy it. And if you destroy a monster card this way, your opponent loses life points equal to its attack. Wow. 2. If this special summon card you control is destroyed by opponent's card effect, you can place this card in your pendulum zone, which is like standard extra deck Pendulum stuff.
Yeah. So its first effect is really interesting. Because if they don't negate it, it essentially eliminates a threat. And, like,
Right.
the most permanent way possible.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like, how do you recover a monster that's become a continuous spell with no effect?
I mean, you'd have to, like, MST your own monster.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like, that's ridiculous. Okay, I'm digging it. Next up is another fusion. It's the Fire Machine 1. Valiant's Genesis Grand Duke. Level 10 Fire Machine, 25/25, Pendulum Scale 10. There. Okay, so you have to fuse some to get your other half. You can only use the Pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn. During your main phase, activate one of these effects. Special summon it into its column or move a monster. Same thing. Materials. 2 Valiant monsters, 1 less. Must first be either Fusion Summon or Special Summon from your face down extra deck by attributing a level 5 or higher non-fusion Valiant monster in the same column as an extra monster zone.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Oh, so you can Special Summon it without Fusion Summoning it.
Right.
That's interesting. 1. If this card is Special Summoned, you can target a monster card in your opponent's spell and trap zone, return it to the hand, and then burn your opponent for its attack, and then it gains attack. Ooh, that's interesting.
Half the damage they took. Yeah, wow. That's really cool. So if you get the other guy out first, if you get the Valiant Assemble Mamanaka out first, send one of their monsters back, and then use this guy to...
What you could do is you can make the first guy, right? Make sure if he's in the same column as the extra monster zone, move something in the back, and then immediately tribute him off to special Grand Duke, and then Grand Duke effect to just pop it back to their hand, and then burn them, and then he gets beefy.
Wow. No, it has to be a... You can't use Mama Nuka to make Grand Duke, because it has to be a level 5 or higher non-fusion Valiant monster.
There you go. I knew, I thought that was too broken.
Okay, so that's the end of the monsters. At the end of the monsters, we have 2 fusions, right? But then we have like 8 regular main deck monsters. So the main deck monsters, you have 4 of these that are like the priestess, the archer, the ninja,
that are water
the warrior.
Spellcasters.
Yeah, and they're all just like the water spellcasters. And then you have 4 of these machine fires, which are like, they look like they're in mech suits. They have similar effects to the regular monsters. So it's like the priestess got a mech suit, and then it's like the archer and the ninja got their own mech suits, because the effects are even similar.
Yeah, but like they're completely different designs and all that.
Yeah, they look like they're literally in like a cyber universe.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at the field spells, because those should be next. Oh my god, it's a video game!
Yeah, it's literally a video game. Okay, Valiant's World Shinra Bansho. Field spell card. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. 1. When this card resolves, place 1 Valiant's field spell from your deck face up in your opponent's field zone, except Valiant's World Shinra Bansho. 2. If there are 2 cards in the field zone, the turn player can target 1 monster in their spell and trap zone. The turn player special summons it to their main monster zone in the same column.
Interesting.
Interesting. So,
Shinra Bansho,
okay, so this is a translation note. This is important.
Yeah.
Shinra Bansho is basically like the whole of creation or the whole of nature. It gets used to emphasize the natural part of the world. Okay, so that explains why, like, the art for this is all like a volcano, the temple, the big mansion, all surrounded by the cherry blossom trees, stuff like that.
Feudal Japan style.
Yeah.
Then we have Valiant's World Koenig Weissen. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. When this card's resolved, place 1 Valiant's field spell from your deck face up in your opponent's field zone, except Valiant's World Koenig Weissen. So, same thing. 2. There are 2 cards in the field zones. The turn player can target 1 effect monster in their opponent's main monster zone in the same column as a monster the turn player controls. Place the targeted monster face up in its controller's spell and trap zone as the same column as a continuous spell. If there is already a card in that zone, it is destroyed.
Interesting. Huh. Wow. And this also, the release of this card will also coincide with a reprint of Electromite in the OCG.
Yes.
Wow, this is interesting. So, man, I
Translation,
don't
no.
know that these. I don't know how good this is. Everybody's saying on Twitter and stuff that these cards are really good, but I don't know. I don't really see like. I can't just like visualize all the combo lines and visualize everything. I mean, it seems really good, but I also don't know Pendulum well enough to know whether it actually is or not.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, translation note, by the way, Koenig Weissen means something like Knowledge Kingdom. And it says Knowledge King, and then, like, the dumb part of Kingdom is in, parentheses. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this
I know
is
it's interesting. I'm kind of looking forward to this.
I'm kind of digging
I'm
the
usually not a
archetype.
big Pendulum fan, but honestly, I really love the artwork here.
Yeah, oh yes. Oh yeah, no, so do I. This seems really cool. Particularly, now, unfortunately, I did double check. Buster Baron is not a machine dupe target. His attack's too high.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Interesting.
But, you get all the spellcaster water support, so you could run, what's that spell book that's just like send a spellcaster control the graveyard, draw 2 cards?
I think that's Spellbook of Wisdom.
Yeah, that's viable here. You could also, something else you could do that's hilarious is do the Grand Duke thing to make him big and beefy. If you can get him over 4k, you can just declare attack. Yeah? Okay, cool. And then just, limiter removal for game.
Oh yeah, because he's a machine.
Yeah, because he's a level 10 fire machine monster.
Man, that's interesting. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how great this will be, but
I'm digging
it seems good.
Yeah, it seems like it could be pretty cool. My biggest issue at the moment is there doesn't seem to be an actual way to fusion summon, Mamanaka.
Yeah, there was one of them fusion summons.
I didn't see anything about a fusion
Yeah,
summon.
if this card is moved from a main monster to the other, you can fusion summon one Valiant fusion monster from your extra deck, using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material, as well as cards in your Pendulum Zone. That's the Hojo Warrior of the Valiants.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So, but he's like the only one.
Yeah. Oh, so if your opponent negates that, then you're locked out of fusion summoning for the most part.
Yeah, the Valiants seem, I don't know, they seem interesting. I'm not entirely sold on it, mainly because, pendulums, but, whatever.
Yeah, it's definitely going to take, it's definitely going to take someone who's a little bit smarter, not a little bit, a lot smarter than us, because we're not exactly the brightest bulbs in the candy shop, to figure out how this deck's going to work, but it looks like it could be pretty good.
It looks fun, I will say that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Particularly the constantly moving around of the monsters.
Yeah, it just seems like a lot to keep track of, and like a lot of like forethought has to go into like where you summon your monsters and stuff. But
oh yeah,
it's definitely got potential. It's definitely got legs. Yeah.
Where those legs go, don't know.
Yeah. All right. Next we have Alba Renatus, the Abyssal Dragon. This is also from Dimension Force. The Valiant cards were from a Duelist pack. I don't know which one, but they're not from Dimension Force. But this one is Alba Renatus, the Abyssal Dragon. Is a level 8 Dark Dragon Fusion Effect monster, 2500 attack, 2500 defense. Materials: Fallen of Albaz and 1+ Dragon monsters. Cannot be used as fusion material. Must either be fusion summoned or special summoned from your extra deck by sending the above cards from either player's monster zone to the graveyard.
Ooh, contact fusion.
Yeah, contact fuse, or you can super poly if need be into it.
Or you can just use Albaz's effect.
Yeah. Well, I guess it can't really be. It is just like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. It is just a contact fusion. I guess you can't really super poly it because it has to be contact fused.
Well, no, because you either have to fusion summon it. So if you're actively like super polying it, it makes it where your opponent can't respond to it.
Oh, it must be fusion summoned or special summoned. Okay, so you can either contact fuse it or like super poly it. Okay. 1. This card can make a number of attacks on monsters each battle phase up to the number of materials used for its summon. 2. Once per turn during the end phase, if this card is in your graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can add 1 polymerization normal spell or fusion normal spell from your deck to your hand. So this lets you add any of the Albaz fusions, polymerization, whatever you want from your deck to your hand.
Surgical super. No, it's gotta be a normal spell card. They thought of that.
Yeah, well, this'll get rid of the need for the Albaz deck to run, because it was running like a small like Edge Imp Chain Frightfur package.
Yeah, now it doesn't have to
get polymerization, and they don't really need to do that anymore. So
note, Renatus is Latin for born again. Yes, especially in the spiritual sense, or to refer to one initiated into the mysteries, i.e. inner teachings, of a religion.
Yeah, so yet another Albaz card. I am not looking forward to when this deck is at full power. This is gross.
Yeah. Let's see, and now it's just the last cards that were revealed for Diffo.
Which is like 10 of them.
Yep. Let's see. First off, we have a Materiactor support.
Yeah, that's right. Materiactors. They're an archetype.
Support. Materiactor Analysis. It's a normal spell card. You can only pay one card this name is per turn. 1. Detach and exceed material from a card you control. Then if that detached material is sent to your graveyard, you can set it to your field.
Alright.
Okay, it is what it is.
Oh gosh.
Analysis is basically Latin for little ring.
I get this one. Oh gosh.
You
Okay, so
because it's a nightmare.
Sekitori Musomaru. Rank 6 Fire Machine Exceeds Effect Monster. 600 attack, 3000 defense. Materials 2 level 6 monsters. 1. At the start of your opponent's battle phase, activate this effect. This is mandatory. Roll a 6-sided die. Assign the next 6 main monster zones on either field from the perspective of this card that is in a main monster zone, a number from 1 to 6 clockwise, and move this card to the zone assigned to the number of the die roll result. If there is a monster in a zone this card was about to move to, attach it to this card as material. If an Xyz monster transfers its material, transfer its materials to this card as well. If this card has more than 6 Xyz materials attached to this way, the player who activated this effect wins the duel. Wow. If this card cannot move into a zone, or if there is a monster in the zone it's about to move to and it cannot attach that monster's material, send this card to the graveyard. So this is a play on Sekitori, a sumo wrestler rank, while reading as something kind of like musical chairs. And its second name, Sugoroku, is like a dice game in Japan, and Maru is like just like a general suffix bent into Muso, which means like the invincible or unchallenged, and chicken is Tori. So Sekitori Musomaru is like a huge play on words. The whole name is.
Yeah,
but
it's a long series of, it's a pun that goes into a second pun, that goes into a third pun, that goes into a fourth pun.
Right, so here's kind of how it moves around the field. If it's in your number 1 monster zone, right? So your monster zones, if you're looking at your field, are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across the field. If it's in your 1 zone, then your opponent's zones, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, would be labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if that makes any sense. And your 5 zone would be labeled 6. So when you roll the die, if you roll a 6, it goes from your 1 zone to your 6 zone. Or if you roll the die and you roll a 3, it goes to your opponent's middle monster zone. Or like, if it's in your 3 monster zone and you roll a 4, it goes to your opponent's second from the left monster zone from your perspective. Or, because it goes clockwise around the board.
Yeah.
But what's really funny is, and this is the best part about this card, if you can summon a 6-stack Zeus in like your, say your 1 zone, and you summon this guy afterwards in your 5 zone, then all you need to do is roll a 4 and you win the duel.
Yup.
That's so funny. It's not good.
Oh no,
it's really
terrible. Because first off,
but
it's two level 6 monsters to make this thing. First off. Secondly, it's all the die rolls, and if it just happens to land on something that it can't attach as material, it just goes away. Or for some reason,
it reminds me of Flying Elephant. It's like it has a win con built into the effect, but it's not good. It's really funny, but it's not good.
Oh no, not at all. Next up, we have Midday Sentinel, a new Sentinel card. Level 6 Earth Warrior, 2300 attack, 1500 defense. So it's got the Sentinel effect where you can set this card from your hand into your spell and trap card zone as a spell card. 2. During the standby phase of the next turn after this set card was destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon it and then destroy all cards your opponent controls in the same column as it. So the original Sentinel, which came out, 2013, I want to say?
No, it was earlier than that. It was like 2010.
No,
2011.
It was later than that because Exceeds were out, and
Yes, Exceeds came out in 2011.
But they were also in Fleek at that point. Like, Shockmaster was around, and like...
No, Exceeds released in 2011.
Yeah, this thing came out a little bit after that, like 2012. It might have been like super late 2011, early 2012. Doesn't matter.
I want to say it came out in the same set. I want to say it was Order of Chaos, because I want to say it was the same set as Inzectors.
It might be.
Which was early 2012.
So the original Sentinel, you could set it just like that. And then
Called
if it
Silver Sentinel.
Yeah, Silver Sentinel. And then if it got popped, MST, blind MST, Heavy Storm, whatever, you could then just pop something on your opponent's field during your next standby phase.
Yeah.
Only this thing blows up the entire column.
I don't know. It's funny.
Oh, absolutely. Like, the only time I could ever see this, like, actively being used is in a lot of trap decks, because you can set it, and if your opponent, like, Twin Twisters or Harpy Feather Dusters, you just get to blow up one of their columns for free.
Right.
That's the only place I'd ever see you use it. Plus, you get a free level 6 on board. 2300 attack.
I'd rather just set Artifact Scythe and lock them out of the extra deck.
Yeah, punish them for doing that too.
Yeah, I mean, there's just other better options, you know?
Exactly.
Next is Mare of the Shore, level 4 Water Aqua Effect Monster. 1500 attack, 1600 defense. You can only use this card's name's first and second effects once per turn each. One of this card's normal special summoned, you can send one Aqua monster from your deck to the graveyard except Mare of the Shore. 2. During the end phase, you can tribute this card, then target one Aqua monster in your graveyard except Mare of the Shore and add it to your hand. So it's like a really delayed Rhoda. But it could also, like, it could be a foolish and then a recursion, or it could just be like a late Rhoda. I don't know.
Yeah. Mara here is Mara, M-A-H-R-E-H is how you pronounce it, as in Italian or Latin for ocean as opposed to female horse, as in a mare.
Right. So it's Mare, not mare.
Yeah. Next up, you have Yamatoko Orochi, level 1 Water Sea Serpent Tuner Effect Monster. That's a mouthful. 0 attack, 800 defense. 1. If you use this card on field as synchro material, you can treat it as a level 8 monster.
Funny.
That is funny. 2. A synchro monster that was used as a synchro material a synchro monster uses card as synchro material gains one of these effects based off its original level. If it's 8 or less, it gains 800 attack and defense. If it's 9 or more, it gains piercing.
It's not good, but it's fun.
Oh, it's definitely really fun.
Next is Entombing Casket Sarcophagus.
This card's name is a pun on Yamada no Orochi, the mythical Japanese 8-headed snake, and Tako, which means octopus, the real 8-legged mollusk. So Yamatoko Orochi.
It's cute.
Okay, now you can do Entombing Casket Sarcophagus.
Dark Zombie Effect, level 4/0/0. You can only use this card's name second effects once per turn. 1. When this card is destroyed by battle with an opponent's monster, you can take control of that opponent's monster, and if you do, the monster becomes zombie type, and its attack and defense each becomes 0. 2. When a zombie monster you control is destroyed by battle with an opponent's monster, and this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card, take control of that opponent's monster, and if you do, that monster becomes zombie type, and its attack and defense each becomes 0. This seems, like, bad.
Yeah, bad, but funny.
Yeah, this seems like a good way to take a bunch of battle damage.
Exactly, unless you like special in defense mode.
Yeah.
Well, no, you can set it, and if your opponent runs into it, you steal their monster.
And then they attack their own monster, and then you take all the direct hit, basically.
Yeah, that is fair.
And then you do it again, and then you take another direct hit.
Yeah. Like, the biggest thing I could see you possibly doing with this is, like, Normal summoning, ramming it into something, just take a direct hit just to steal it, but then it's level 0, or then it's a 0/0. I don't know why you would do that. It's funny.
I mean, it can be used to clear your opponent's field of a couple of monsters, but like,
Yeah.
at what cost? I'll tell
A
you what
lot
the
of
cost
life
is.
points.
A ton of life points.
Yeah, just a metric butt ton of life points. Next up, we have a new quick play spell, Surprise Chain. You can only activate one card in this card's name per turn. 1. Activate as Chain Link 2 or higher. Oh boy, chain stuff. Apply the following effects in order depending upon the chain link number of this card. You cannot activate this spell if this card has multiple cards of the same name, or the effects of such cards are already activated in that chain. So you can't go like...
Yeah, you can't just chain this to itself over and over.
Or you can only activate one per turn anyway, but I mean you can't go like Jar of Greed, Reckless Greed, Surprise Chain.
Yeah.
It has to be like Jar of Greed, Reckless Greed, Threatening Roar, Wabaku, and then this. 2 or more, activate a number of cards on top of your deck equal to this card's chain link number, and then place them on top of your deck in any order. You get to stack your deck. Cool. 3 or more, send the top card of your deck to your graveyard, stack your deck, and then Foolish Burial 1. 4, draw a card. So stack your deck, Foolish Burial 1, and then draw 1.
Interesting.
This card's name is Opponent Supply Chain. I could see this easily getting abused. And like...
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess it could be played in Chain Burn as just like an extra chain link, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Dream Pillow Parasomnia. Equip spell card. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name once per turn each. 1. During the end phase, you can activate this effect to destroy the equipped monster. 2. If this card is sent to the graveyard as a result of the equipped monster being destroyed, you can special summon 1 Parasomnia token, level 1, question attack, 0 defense, with the same original type, attribute, and attack as the monster that this card is equipped to, then equip this card to that token.
That's hilarious!
It's bad and it's weird, but it's funny.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Could you imagine your opponent just sitting on something and you activate this and it's just like, oh no. Especially if it's just like...
I guess you can just equip it to your opponent's monster.
Exactly, and then pop their monster.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's funny.
And then you get to get a level 1 token that's big.
That's really funny, actually.
Like, the only reason why I even thought about equipping it to your opponent's monsters is because, you know, back when we were terrible, I ran Ikubo Drakboard.
Right.
Which I would just keep equipping to your stuff.
Right.
Next up, we have Pawn Shop Ledger Book. Normal trap. Target up to 2 monsters your opponent controls. Banish them till the end phase. And then your opponent gains 1,000 life points for each card removed from the field by this effect. I mean, it's a great way to turn in them at the cost of... you know, they gain some life points.
Yeah, it clears the field for the turn.
But hold on, could you imagine, activate Mo, you get the token, then flip this thing and you lose both of them. Until end of turn.
That would be funny. That would be funny.
No, I think in that case you would just straight up lose the token permanently.
I would... Maybe?
And then you only get the Mo-E back. Huh.
Next is Vivid Tale, a normal trap card. You can only use either this card's name's first or second effects once per turn, and only once that turn. 1. Target 1 card you control, return it to the hand. Or 2. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target 1 face-up card you control, set this card to your field, but banish it if it leaves the field, and if you do, return that face-up card to the hand. You cannot activate cards or the effects of cards with the same name as the card returned to the hand for the rest of this turn. So, I guess it's kind of like a bad Giant Trunade?
It's a very bad Giant Trunade.
Yeah. That's it. That's all of them. We did it. We read all the cards.
Yes, all the new cards. Some of them are better than others. Some of them are super cool. Some of them are just terrible versions of cards that already exist.
Most of them are bad.
But at a spell speed higher. I'll give it that. It is at a higher spell speed.
Technically, yes. But that's it. That's all of it. That's the episode. Be sure to tune in Friday for some meta coverage, YCS analysis, hopefully ban list, not reaction, but hopefully ban list analysis. Because hopefully we'll have a ban list by Friday.
That'd be great.
But yeah, we'll see. But that's it. That's all of them. The podcast question today: what is the funniest Yu-Gi-Oh thing that has happened to you? That'll be going up today. I won't forget this time. I'm not even working this week. I'm off work. So we're going to make this happen this time. We're going to do it. We're going to remember, right?
I will make sure he remembers.
That's it. Okay, so thank you all so much for listening to today's episode of the podcast. Be sure to tune in every Tuesday and Friday for new episodes. Be sure to check out our Patreon if you are interested. The $5 and up patrons get an extra episode every week. Mostly last week we didn't do one, but we had our reasons. So be sure to check out our Patreon if you are so inclined. Be sure to check out our Discord, our Twitter. Those links for all of that is in our link tree, which is in the description below. Check out ETB Games. Their link is down in the description below. Be sure to use our TCG Player affiliate link to support the podcast at no extra cost for the cards that you would already be buying. And check out Team Dark Arm Dealings. They are our sister YouTube channel. And you can check us out on YouTube now, by the way. We should be pretty much all caught up on our YouTube uploads by now.
Yep.
So be sure to check us out on YouTube if you would rather listen to the podcast on YouTube. We understand. We have heard all of the comments. We've heard all of what everybody has said. And as such, we will now be live updating our YouTube at the same time as we update our Spotify and our iTunes. So check out YouTube, check out Team Dark Arm Dealings, Patreon, Discord, Twitter, all of that. And I think that's it. I think we'll see you in the next one. And please let there be a ban list today or sometime in the extremely near future.
Like today or tomorrow would be amazing.
Or yesterday or the day before would have been amazing.
Yeah, it would have, but it didn't happen.
Oh man, I really need a new ban list, dude. I'm so tired of this format.
Keep in mind, we mean yesterday and the day before yesterday as of recording, because it'd be hilarious if it did in fact come out today of episode release, and we just it'd be great if we got it yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Just ban list. Say it with me, everybody. Ban list.
Take care, everyone.
Have a good one. Bye.